All right, welcome everybody to this week's special Rising Tide Foundation presentation, where we are joining hands with the World People's Assembly this week to provide something which I think follows in the flow of the spirit of last week's presentation, which dealt with the question of what is the real science of climate change? What is being left out of the discussion of, in this case, it was atmospheric science, greenhouse gases that would give us a better insight into the galactic nature of what is shaping the changes that we live in and that we're experiencing on the Earth in the course of galactic time. So that was a fun presentation. It was a little bit technical heavy, but I think otherwise very edifying. This week we have Oleg, and I met Oleg um, Podgoretsky when I was in Sochi. And as many people know, I went for a little documentary festival, and I went to present some ideas about the Bering Strait, Arctic development, avoiding World War III, and that was a lot of fun. But I didn't expect that most of my conversations would be, or my most enjoyable conversations at least, would be held on the issue of water and the science of water, which we should have been told more about in school if society was not had not lost its marbles and things were devoted a little bit more seriously towards truth and rigor. But we have not. We've been robbed of some of those basic competencies we should have had access to. And I was very overjoyed that Oleg has been very passionate for many years as a former rocket scientist and somebody who's got a very adept pulse on the world situation, a lot of history, and a good sense of the future, and has been technically also, not just theoretically, but also technically applying and experimenting with how do you revitalize water? What is the science of water, and how could you actually market this in a way that makes it available for all human beings to really benefit the most by getting the greatest benefit out of this incredible molecule that is abundant, that we need, that we're made up of, and that is completely left in the dark. Most people just don't understand how this works and how this can be made alive again. By that, I'm gonna leave it ambiguous because I think that Oleg will clarify some ideas, and he is of course also I believe a founder of Geoguard Quantum Water Revitalization, as a company and as a firm, as a technology, which he's also going to talk about in his presentation. And then afterwards, like usual, we're going to open up for some dialogue, some Q&A. So I ask people in the audience to put your name in the chat box, and I will call upon you to throw your question at Oleg as you see fit. And Oleg, the stage is all yours. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, Henry. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. So whenever you want to do a screen share and just say your piece, go for it.
All right. So, where is that piece? All right. All right. So I will. Should I start, Matt?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right. Let me introduce myself first. So, as you know, my name is Oleg Podgoretsky. I'm founder of QPL LLC. It's an American company. The name arrived from its acronym for Quantum Physics Lab, basically. We founded in early 2005, and it's been 21st year in business. I would like to tell you how I get in this strange business. I'm a rocket scientist by training, get green card and residency in US as a Soviet scientist while being in a business school in George Washington University. And after that, I work as a computer scientist, published in Special Magazine, and that was my way to make living in US, at least. And somehow I get into a project from my colleagues from George Washington University. They had a grant from National Institute of Health, and they tried to find a probable cause of rising health issue, like statistical. America was number one on women miscarriage, on autism, and many others diseases. They try to find, we had a list of diseases, and they try to find the probable cause. What could happen in a country, a new technology, new market, whatever, that may cause that concern of National Institute of Health. So it was not easy, but what we found a clear correlation between all those things and production of plastic bottles in the US, basically water consumption. When we submit our report, NIH was kind of puzzled because they couldn't understand what's the link between just production of plastic bottles and diseases. Most of them have endocrine nature, I would say. And they started look into it, and they found that the probable cause of all these diseases is bisphenol A, or commonly called BPA, that's used for PET bottle production and basically any kind of plastic production as a hardening agent. And they found a mechanism of how it get into a cell and how a cell get confused. Because that BPA, the entire inner structure of BPA is very similar to women hormone estrogen, and body is sometimes confused between BPA and estrogen. When I get a report, it's been like 2 years after we finish the project, I start thinking about it and ask myself, do we have a better way to treat water? And can we avoid plastic bottles and have a technology that will give you natural spring water out of your tap? Before that, I never thought of it, and just as normal people drink water, as a bunch of molecules. But the water is not a collection of molecules. It's an intelligent substance. It's a universal and only conductor of all information and energies inside living organism and human body as well. So that was a beginning of my journey, and a year and a half later, we set up a new company, and slowly but surely I switched my focus, business focus and scientific focus into water business. So that's how I get to that business. 10 years later, we had a prototype, and we start testing it, and for over 3 years, we test our devices on different kind of environment, on people. I was the first one who tested on myself, on soil, on vegetables, on animals, and all form of lives very positively take a natural water. My wife was very skeptical about what I do, and never drink that water, even though I drink it. I had a device installed outside my house in a water bib. So one day I went to Costco and bought flowers and put in a vase with the water from my device, and forget about it. And she found that water doesn't smell rotten like in 2 weeks, after 2 weeks. And she told me, look, I just found that water doesn't smell at all. I said, because that's the kind of water in it. And she started drinking that water too. So to make the long story short, we start looking into production and set up own assembly of line of product. And then I had to go to Russia because I have a partner in Russia who is a scientist. We worked together over 20 years so far. And he approached that business from a different point of view. The water, we transform water, revitalize water by using mostly quantum physics. It's a movement of water, is a natural way of water to move, and the shape of water that cause all the water transformation. And he worked from a subtle body, from quantum and photonic energy, and he has his own technology that with which we can manage and harmonize photonic energy and quantum energy, and which is a very important part. That's why I'm here for a year and a half already, and we work on a very important project that we call vibration medicine, which is a medicine of future. We see the medicine of future without chemicals, without pills, and because all the material things that we can use or see, touch, like pills, it's basically energy inside, and our body doesn't understand chemical names or anything else. It just senses and read energy of a pill we take with water. So it diluted in our body, and water distributed agent, whatever is in a pill, a principal agent, to every cell of our body. So we try to avoid chemicals and work on vibrational medicine because one of the basis for quantum physics is that every matter radiate energy and information about itself. And interaction in every life system or any form of life try to maintain, maintain a resonate, vibrational resonant between inner oscillation and the outer warp. So life exists when that resonance is established. And in that process, only when resonance is set up, you can exchange information. All the living system, all the organisms, all the bodies, all the organs inside the body exchange information through the water. So water is the most important part in our life and life of our planet. So that's why I'm in Russia, but I'll be in US on February 4th, and we'll be there for a long time, probably for some 3, 4, 5 months. I don't know how long. So because we still have a company in US, and I have to go back and forth. So back to the business. We call our technology Geoguard technology, and our devices we called Geoguard water revitalizers. You can see how it look, pure taste of life. That's how it look. Our device, we believe it's inspired by nature, and that device make your tap water as a mountain spring water. As a best sample of spring water. Why is that? Because that spring water is born just on your side. When you open a tap, it's born immediately in a fraction of a second, while water travels from one side, from intake to outtake. So the essence of our technology, or I would say what make us different from any water treatment or condition technology, is that we harmonize, we link a property of the water to a set of energy inside the water, because they are interdependent, meaning that, and we move water inside a device in a way that water move and travel without any restriction in nature. And we make the assumption, we presume that water, the shape of the water in the nature is like very similar to the shape of a human DNA. And DNA is a double helix built in a proportion of golden ratio. So the golden ratio is built in that proportion of double helix. And we assume that the water should move freely the same way. And that was proved by a German scientist a few years later, that discovered that DNA, by surrounded by water, is keep that shape exactly because of the water, because of the what they call so basically the water shapes DNA. And Luc Montagnier, a French scientist and doctor and Nobel Prize winner, he published that without water, DNA will not have that shape. And that was very important for us. And we knew that we are on the right path. And that was, the assumption we made was intuitive, but it was proven right, proved to be right. So our mission is to provide water and pristine quality, vitality, and biological value, and to harmonize human ecology and ecosystem by revitalizing water and reducing plastic pollution. So our philosophy, it's not here probably, but I have to tell you that we committed to observe, to learn nature instead of trying to improve it. There is no way to improve it, to improve nature. There is no way to outsmart it. So we have to follow, learn its basic rules, and we have to follow it. That's the only way we can change status quo in the water and ecosystem at large. And it is very obvious to everybody that quality of life is equal to quality of water, right? And there's a well-known scientist in Austria, Dr. Wolfgang Ludwig, who did interview to American journalist who published basically about the water, and they follow all the what happened with the water business, water science, and try to keep people up to date with the knowledge. And in his interview, he said that water I'll just read you. Water which has once been exposed to pollutant is dead. Even the most intensive and modern treatment facilities cannot revive it. It is energetically dead and it contains no useful information. Biologically valuable water must contain certain useful frequencies for the human organism to benefit from. And that was a conclusion he made in his books. But before that, they take water from rain from a river, and they knew there is lead in this water. So the water was triple filtered, and then condensed, filtered, and they found no traces of lead in water. But when they did test of energy test and see what energy is inside the water, like spectrum analysis, they found traces of lead in the water. And that makes him to conclude that no technology is able to remove harmful vibration frequencies of of harmful agents that come into the water. And our technology is the only one can do it, because the water that come into our device and water that come out, they are different water. They don't know each other. They completely different, reassembled and built from the scratch. It's like a newborn baby. So most of the water we consume is considered to be energetically dead. And there's no wonder, because you cannot keep water alive when you send it inside the pipes by a pressure. Pressure destroys a water inner structure, and it destroys the very nature of water. Because of that, mostly our drinking water is chaotically clustered due to a natural treatment and the distribution. And our solution is designed to restore water's natural state in internal structure, energy, and vitality. So how we do it? Let me. Before that, I will tell you what our device does to water and why we need to revitalize water. What's wrong with the water? What's wrong with the filtration of the water? You know that we constantly buy water, filtered water, and most of us believe that filtered water is the only water to drink. And for many years, we've been told that you have to filter water because the public water is not good. It doesn't taste right, which is true. And it has a lot of contaminants inside that has to be removed. We know that filter doesn't have intelligence. It just remove everything larger than the size of a net of the filter medium. Bad or good doesn't matter. It filter out all minerals and it destroys all the good bacteria that water has to have, what we call a microflora. We kill it twice. We kill that microflora once with chlorine. Chlorination kills, it's like a weapon of mass destruction, right? It kills water. It kills everything. It kills harmful bacteria, pathogens, and everything that is inside the water. our technology selectively destroys pathogens while preserving good bacteria, which is microflora. It's not like it's our technology, it's Mother Nature does. It's the way that nature self-restore its nature and structure. So it's basically built-in process of all life system of self-restoration and vitalization. So many people ask, okay, you don't filter water. What happened with the chlorine? Chlorine does harm to the water, and it makes water taste bad. When the water move in a proper way, the chlorine become a gas, and it evaporates when you open a tap. When it is a contact with the air, it gets evaporated. So nature itself effectively removes chlorine with the body of water. It's not something that we developed. We just help nature to kick off all the processes that it has in its algorithm to restore vitality of the water. When you think about water, there's a misconception that we think that we've been told, you can read everywhere, that the best water is from a deep well. So the deeper the well is, the better the water inside, which is quite opposite to the truth. People who write this, they just don't understand how water recycles and how water cycle works. So, but the truth is that water, when it just comes from the clouds, it goes inside, penetrate the earth, and swiftly go inside, go down, until at some point when it changes magnetic poles, the earth, it starts going back to the surface. And while it's travel, it's driven by suction, not by pressure, by suction. It's like capillary effect, and it memorizes everything that it get contact with, sand, rocks, everything. And that's the maturity stage of water. It's like a baby. It takes time for the baby to mature, and the same true for the water. It takes time for the water to get right energy and to dissolve inside, and everything it just it's been in contact with. Let me close that file. We don't need it anymore. I don't know how to close it. It's just all right. Okay, so that's why water, when it's ready for consumption, it just come close to a topsoil. And in some places, it come in form of a spring. So it look for the shady place without direct sun. And most of the springs we have on the bottom of the lakes, rivers, where there's no direct sun. And that's why the best water source for consumption is our surface, it's rivers and lakes. To demonstrate what I said, in nature we have two types of motion. One is it's cycling motion inward, and the other one is outward. The one that circle motion that goes inward, it just go by suction, and it causes a temperature to drop to make it colder. And the water driven by pressure, which is outward, it raises temperature and destroy the structure of water. That's why all our machines, all our technology is based on a pressure. The mechanism we build based on the pressure, and water is driven by pressure, basically. Good thing that when your faucet is shut, there is a standing pressure, but when you open it, it starts moving by a suction as well as a pressure. That's the trick, how we could manage and balance the process that nature involved to revitalize water. You know that if you dig a hole like 10 feet deep or 15 feet deep, the temperature of the earth is the same. It doesn't change, regardless it's winter or summer. That's the principle of geothermal energy. So you dig like 15 feet deep, and there's a temperature of like 20 degree or 15 degree. It's constant temperature. But when water goes to the surface, its temperature is between 6 and 4 degrees Celsius. You ask how come? If surrounding soil is 15 degrees Celsius, but the water is 4 or 6. That's exactly demonstrate what I just said, because it goes driven by suction. It becomes denser and denser and denser. And the most dense water is when its temperature is 4 degrees Celsius. It's the most dense water at that temperature. That's why, because it's inward movement of water. It's a natural to the water. So when we designed that technology, it took sometimes to understand what is the natural way for water to run, and what is the natural shape of the water. So in our device, we recreate that shape similar to double helix DNA, and the trajectory of water movement. Water never run straight lines. It's just making curves. So all that kick off the process of self-restoration. And the principle of our technology is that part of energy from water stream goes inside a water molecule. So the water molecule become more energized. It has more energy inside, which is very important, and I'll explain you why. It's when we drink a water, is any water that has a low vitality and chaotic structure, that water, you remember I told you that there is a interdependency between a structure of living matter and its energy imprint. Everything has own energy imprint. It's like it's human being has a imprint, like that's your personal imprint. The same true with water. Water has own imprint, set of energies that when it comes to your body, the body recognizes it's what it expected or not. If energy imprint of the water that come into a cell doesn't match with what it expects, the cell must use own energy to revitalize water inside itself. By doing that, every cell decrease its energy balance. So we pay for that water twice, with the money we buy water for, and with energy, own energy, which is limited resources. It's renewable, but it's still limited, because limited amount of energy produced by each cell of our body at different state of our life. So when your energy balance decrease, what does it mean? It does mean that you decrease your immune system, ability of immune system to resist or to fix problem in your body that come to your body. So slowly, it's built up. The entire energy, the immune system, which is collection of the energy produced by different cells and organs and etc. It has a distribution algorithm, like prioritized. So there's a first priority: heartbeat, temperature, vision, whatever. And the second and third, and blah blah blah. And there's a reserve of energy reserve for unexpected, something unexpected to happen. And water, low vitality water that we drink, it's exactly the case. It asks every cell of our body to use that energy that we have in case something unexpected happened. So the bottom line is we can make everybody can make that assumption that you cannot be healthy if you drink unhealthy water, right? So how to make water healthy is to let Mother Nature to do its work, not try to make it better, make it good. Just let Mother Nature to take care of it. So our negligence, and because we use a technology in opposite unnatural way, because we predominantly use pressure as a type of water movement, and some other processes, we degrade living things like forests, topsoil. We pollute water and human soul. I'd like to talk about plastic pollution as well, a little bit. You know that because many people don't know that what it takes to make a plastic bottle, and what we as a human and the nature pay for that process. Water bottle and plastic, just as for sorry, I'll put back. The America consumes about 29 billion bottles of water every year. And plastic waste, the same time, become a main source of pollution, okay? Pushing our ecosystem, and environment to environmental disaster. To produce 29 billion bottles, it takes 17 million barrels of crude oil annually. With that crude oil, it's enough to fuel 1 million vehicles for entire year. What does it take to manufacture a plastic water bottle? Every plastic water bottle takes what? Bisphenol, I already told you BPA as a hardening agent. And also to produce a bottle, you need approximately 1 kilo of plastic, produced plastic, release approximately 3 kilos of carbon monoxide. So 1-to-3 ratio. And 1 liter bottle requires 3 liters of running water contaminated by BPA. And that water will contaminate our soil as well and water sources eventually. That's why it is important to reduce the plastic pollution. I believe that we can reduce it. If we reduce it in half, it will be great support for our ecosystem and for future of our kids and grandkids. The question is how that BPA gets into water. You can read that it's just diluted like a sugar in the water, something like that. No, it's just, I told you, it gets into water because of the memory, because of the contact of water with anything like a plastic. It reads energy imprint of a plastic, and water memorizes it. So then we drink that water, it goes into our cells, and you know what happened then. Despite of having no biological value, bottled water costs about 2,000 times more than a tap water. And nevertheless, consumption is on the rise, and we drink about 13 billion gallons or 52 million liters every year of this water. At the same time, the recycling rate in US is about 35%, and it decrease by 1 or 2% every year. It is cheaper to export millions of tons of plastic waste to poor countries like Southeast Asia than to recycle it here in US or Canada, this matter. So I try to make the point that we are everybody. We are interconnected because we radiate information about us, and our body is in quantum resonance with the external environment, with our subtle bodies. And that information is around the earth. We're all interconnected. We cannot be healthy and have a healthy offsprings, that our grandson, grandkids and kids cannot be healthy too if the place we live at is not in a healthy state. And you can see it for yourself. Countries like US and Canada invest billions of dollars every year in healthcare. We're trying to find molecule that make a pills. All scientists look for the molecules. Molecules is a bingo. Like you have a molecule, you have a pill to cure some kind of diseases. But what is a molecule? A molecule is a set of energies. We call it molecule. It's a set of energies only. and we can use that energy to cure to cure people without any artificial substance like pills. That's what we work on, and we are facing a lot of progress. Let me tell you, if you don't mind, about our recent product, besides our water devices that revitalize water. We have you can go to our site later on if you're interested, and you can see that stuff that we have now. One of them is called. Let me see. Okay, that's the funnel. We have a funnel. We call it magic flute. That funnel is a device that you can put water through. It will immediately revitalize water, no matter where you get from a river, from a lake, from the bottle, or a tap water. Any water will be revitalized instantly. How we do it and how it's possible? It's possible because we use a quantum photon technology to harmonize, to make a better harmony between photonic and quantum energy, to make it the way they designed by Mother Nature. It's never ideal because of a lot of factors stays between those two energies. Photonic energy is the energy that by which all the information carry on the shoulder of electromagnetic waves. Photonic energy is the ultimate conductor of all information between live systems, inside and between them. It is very important to add energy, to proper amount of energy, the way it's been designed by nature to material objects. So we found a way to improve any material object or any process by harmonizing those two energies. It's kind of complicated to explain. I'm not going to do it, but as a demonstration, a simple demonstration, that funnel, magic flute funnel that we make out of copper with special properties, preset properties. So when water comes to a contact, when you run water through that funnel, it becomes interact in a way that will benefit water and its structure, its antibacterial property, and it will fill water with additionally about 62% of photonic energies. So make your water cell is more energized. So we talk a lot about energy, and people skeptical. They ask, all right, what is the how you prove that the energy you make the more energized water than any other water? And people ask to demonstrate it. And we try to find a test that doesn't give any chance to make test like independent from people interpretation, and that's the right way of putting it. And we found a test, interesting test. I made a concrete mix with the water, with plain water and the water from our device. One professor asked me, try to make the concrete. And I almost forgot about it. And when I recall, I immediately went to a lab, like engineers lab, who deal with the concrete testing, and asked to test our samples. So what we did, we made a 3 sample. One is from tap water, and 2 others from water run through our device. And send it to a lab, and lab test compression testing of the water. Here's the letter from engineering and testing facility. So what it come out that regular mixed concrete mixed compression of regular mixed is about 66% less than a mixed with Geoguard water. So 66% stronger and harder mixed concrete makes it absolutely different grade of concrete. And you achieve different grade just with the water, nothing else, which is quite amazing. So what else we did? Okay, are you here? Hold on, share. And then I send a water device to St. Petersburg to my partner, and they test, let me see, water on human being. So they found a guy, a lady, like 60 years old, whatever. I will look at that test result. It's published on my website as well. And they check energy and measure all the energy. And there is a software as a technology. It's like a medical office, and they give you all the report about your health, about your biological age, physical, and okay, I just found it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So the patient was 56 years old. His biological age was 68 years old. And his complex aggregate number was 3% from a normal. So it was like only 3%. So, and then when we, the same person take 3 sips of water, wait for 20 minutes, and repeat that process. So his integrated health number becomes 70 instead of 3. When I subtract 70 from 3, the result was 67, almost the same as with the concrete mix. So it tells me that energy of water is about, a water molecule is about 67% more than energy of plain water. I'm trying to make a expand. Okay, here you go. So that's that test demonstrate how much more energy in every water molecule after water get revitalized.
At the moment, Oleg, we see a black screen, just so you know.
I see you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take off a share.
Yeah, like right now I'm looking at your Google screen. I could see that.
We have to take that.
You could try to end share for a moment and maybe reshare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need to share anything anymore.
Oh,
A
okay.
video.
So just stop share then. It's fine. It's in red.
Okay, it's in red. Okay, all right.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So, uh, what else I forgot to cover? Let me see. Yeah, and besides that funnel that we uh, first 20 pieces I got from India like 2 weeks ago only. And before that, for 3 years, I tried to find a manufacturer with no luck. Like God gave us a chance, absolutely unexpected, and the place we can make it. Because to make a special properties of copper takes some equipment, and not everybody is interested to do something they never did before. And the other things that we developed, it's like a water thermos. You can take any water in that thermos from any source. It will become a spring water, spring quality water right away. That technology is coming, and in next month we're going to talk to India, Indian officials. We have a solution. India has a problem with some virus that I forgot the name of that virus. I'm sorry, but it comes from animal wart, and few people were exposed to that virus, and there's no remedy. There's no cure. People just eventually die, and there's a big panic in it. And our team developed um, a special process that can like immune, like it's like a shot. It will immune people from that virus, that will not contract the virus, and even they get it, they will never get sick with that virus. It's something we have to test, but the mathematical model is right, all the theoretical concept is right, but it doesn't mean that the real product will be as good as the theory. Life is not sometimes is not the same. So as as an example, you know that in Canada a lot of Siberian larch wood is the most dense wood, and we develop a process to make a cutting board made of Siberian larch, and we send them to Arab Emirates in next 2 weeks probably. Any food that you put on that cutting board will become like from whole food. It become ecologically green. If it has anything in it, your body will not consider that. It will block from your body to take that harmful vibration inside. That's the stretch of technology. We start with the water, and we go to vibration medicine, and we work on devices. Probably it will be on your phone, or I don't know yet. It's speculation, but we developed the process of self-checking. So everybody can check his health or her health. Let's say you have a mobile phone and special app. You scan your energy, and it will give you immediate result, better than any doctor or any MRI or anything else, any test, because your body knows everything about you, and will tell you what is wrong. And more than that, if you do it like from young age and do it like once a week, you know that any problem, like any illness, it come in a physical body in 6, 8, 10, 12, whatever years. So it's slowly crawling inside your body from a subtle energy that penetrate into your body. And if wrong energy or unwanted energy or energy that carries some kind of problem to your body gets in, it will be detected, and it will be immediately give you, let's say you have a water thermos, personal one, it will be connected to that energy that it will go in your thermos, you drink water, and that unwanted harmful energy will be compensated with the water. That's kind of fantastic now, but that's what we're working on for the sake of people. I would conclude my presentation, and I will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Thank you, Matt, for having me.
No, thank you, Oleg, for going through all of this. We do have a couple of questions. Let's open up here for Petra. Petra, do you want me to read it, or actually, would you like to just ask your question? Or
Hi there. Thank you so much for this presentation. I'm wondering if you can expand upon what your devices are doing to the water. It sounds to me like you're saying it's restructuring the water, which is kind of a loose term because everybody loves to talk about structured water. But I'm just, if you could be a little bit more specific about what this physics process is doing, that would be great.
Okay. Yeah, you can structure water. You can take a spoon and structure water with a spoon. You can structure water with a mixer. Whatever you do to the water, you change the structure of it. Because hydrogen bond in the water is very, very flexible.
Sure.
So yes, water structure is a loose term. That's very right. I guess I mentioned that we use our technology is the essence of our technology is dependency of inner structure of the water and its energy. And we try to use no intellect, human intellect, quote unquote, to make water better than it is. So what we try to do, instead of improving water, we try to understand how Mother Nature does it. For a million years, it just bring us fresh water. We try to destroy it, pollute it, but Mother Nature takes care of it. Every cell does it. When it takes the water inside it, it revitalizes the water. So we create a condition on which it is possible for the water to get restored. It's just every living organism, every life system has built-in algorithm, process how to restore your health system. Everybody read or know maybe that miracle healing, like gravely ill, somebody gets healed without doctors. So it's happened. But
how is it doing it? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How is your device doing it? That's the key piece here.
I'll tell you. Okay. The key of that to happen is to give water, lift all restriction we have to the water, and let water move freely and its own pace, and it's like everybody has own walk. So you have to move the way you move normally, not the way the human restrain water. So I guess I mentioned that my assumption was that water shape should be reminiscent to double helix DNA. And that's exactly what happened in our device. In our device, we have very small copper pipes that, and the shape of that, and that pipe is in golden ratio kind of build on golden ratio. What I mean, it's like, do you know about Fibonacci? I'm trying to find Fibonacci sequences, right? So you know that Fibonacci sequences, you can build a spiral based on their sequences, right? And that's exactly the shape of water move, the water pipe shaped. And inside each pipe, there's a special insert that makes water look like a double helix DNA in that proportion. So when water, and it is important at the energy source, we use water pressure. So we make sure that water is driven by speed close to speed of sound, 300 meter by second at least. So it's a condition, it's a pressure and diameter. So we have water in nature. Water has small streams. It's not like a uniform body, and the same we mimic in our device. It comes in a very small streams, like 1/8 of an inch, and they interwoven together like a DNA. And because the time in the water goes in a different way, let's say our time units like a second. The water time is 100,000 times faster. That's why all that happened in that nanosecond during which water travel inside the device. So what happened in the water is oxidation. I didn't want to go into technical details, but yes, it initiates oxidation process when singlet oxygen is released during the reaction, because to recombine all the molecules, you have to take apart or weaken hydrogen bond, and it's happened naturally when it's travel and there's a forces, centripetal force and other force, opposite force, that take it apart. When they take apart water molecules, you can easily assemble it, but you have to know how to assemble it. And we use it's like a memory that inside each water molecule. But still, you need to resonate with the external space. So what happened is it started releasing the oxygen. Is a very aggressive it's called the nonsense oxygen. It's very aggressive. It just exists a nanosecond, and it take like foreign particles, what is not supposed to be in the water, and oxidize it. And it does like 100,000 in a second. So it's basically burn out everything impurities that should not be in the water. That's what happened naturally. We don't manage that process. But that process is described in a scientific article. I can send it to you if you like to read scientific stuff. They describe exactly what happened inside, and I was glad to find that article. So, and then when it starts just happening, water to start breathing. Oxidation of the water is a chemical term of water breathing. So chemists told like breathe abreast of life, abreast of life. but it's in real life, the quantum resonance is start resonating from our outer space, because the information about the water is everybody. You just, how much water in the desert? Let's say 1 cubic meter. Make a guess. It's a lot of water. It's about, in 1 cubic meter, I can tell you it's about 20 liter in every cubic meter of water in the desert.
In the desert.
In
Really?
the desert, yeah. So a lot of water. So what happened is, when it started resonating, it started breathing, and all the information from the, I don't tell you everything, but in the principle, the recombination happened to the algorithm built in a water molecule. So the algorithms to set up a new cluster in the water is this, that you have to build a strong structure by using the least amount of energy. That's how it works, and it works without interaction with the people or human intellect.
Is this work that you've been doing derived in any way or inspired in any way by Victor Schauberger's work from
Exactly.
back? Is
that was my starting point.
That was your starting?
I read everything about Victor Schauberger, everything he wrote, and we know much more than he knew at that time. His active time was 30s, 45, something like that, 46, 47. So he knew a lot about water, more than anybody else. He come to understand the secrets of water. But what we know about the cosmos and space, and how universe is, what is the universe? We combined all this knowledge to give a better chances for us as a human being to restore the ecosystem and us as a people. Look at the big picture. America, with billions of dollars we put into healthcare, we don't live longer. We are not healthier statistically, and so money is not a solution. So I guess we have to unleash our curiosity and our intuition, and be able to listen and understand nature. And that's what we do. And it's not easy, but that's the only way to find the right solution. I guess nature is our teacher too.
Cool. Thank you. My mother is asking a threefold question, and it's a good one. I'm gonna read it aloud. She asks, do we still need to filter out the drugs and fluoride in the water systems on top of your technology, or do they evaporate with, I suppose, implicitly your technology, or is there another filter you would recommend on top of
great
what
question.
you're doing?
Great. I didn't cover that, but so we're talking about treating the wastewater, basically. That's what we're talking about. It is a scientifically proven fact that water, vortexia, you know the term vortexia? So vortex is a turbulence. So the implosive movement of water, which is with a spiraling movement of water, which is a vortex basically, cause water to take off unwanted or how to say it, to make a water, sewer water is much more in a better shape. So what I'm saying is that it's not only the water, it will benefit people that drink in our water, but entire water treatment facility will be benefited too, because we had a test. I didn't want to talk about it, but we did test it, sewer water with our water in it and without. Huge difference, big difference. It kills pathogens, bacteria, and everything else. And with our technology that I told you, like a photonic, it's called Geoguard IXV3, IVX3, I would say. Long name, but with that we can take off all the, regardless if it does have a pills inside or not. What matters is if that vibration will go outside the water body. So we can contain that vibration inside the water body. It will not be recognized by external world. So it's basically, we don't add anything to the water, but we create kind of a cloud around that will take unwanted frequency, compensate it, doesn't let them go outside the cloud. So yes, you can treat a sewer water and make it harmless to environment and people.
Quite the statement. Okay, that's interesting as a prospect. Okay, the secondary question, would PVC water pipes need to be changed to copper?
It's not need to be changed. Copper is the best material, of course, and people do it for probably, I don't know, for to save some money, or builders try to make it cheaper and sell for more. Yes, copper is the best answer. And I built a few houses. I built a house myself in US, and yes, copper is the best material for the water. Not only copper, silver, and gold, three of them.
Okay. Last tertiary question from this flow is it true that the filter is placed at building intake, then runs through pipes to outtake, and wouldn't that pressure kill the water again, since there's a lot of pressure happening in that process? Or is it a different thing?
Are you talking about filter?
Yeah, your filter.
Okay, we don't filter water. You can call it filter, but it's not a filter anyway.
Right, it's like a spiral sort of.
Yeah, well, it's not a filter, but the device, we call it device, designed for 65 psi water, which is basically there's a valve. When you intake, there's a pressure valve. So the pressure set for, I guess, 65 psi, which is, you work with the imperial system or not?
It's the metric system.
Yes, square inch. So that's the water pressure in the system. Our device handle up to 200 psi. So we try to make the water pressure inside, it's not a pressure, velocity of water inside the device is quadruple, basically.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you. Made sense. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Monty, did you want to pose a question?
Yes. My question being, I went to your site, and it states that GeoGuard is scalable from single point of use to entire residential, commercial, or industrial buildings.
Yes, sir.
And
yes.
I would be curious as to where such have been installed, if anywhere in the world, and also are single point of use, in other words, water bottles available on the market? And if so, what is the approximate cost?
I can tell the exact cost of everything we made, and we sell for the same price everywhere, regardless. For the single point of use, meaning that we install it on the sink, okay, most of the time. I don't know where else. That device, it's the smallest device, 4 inches by 5 inches, 583, 10 years warranty, family of 3. When they cook and drink, they pay off in approximately 12 to 18 months. And the next 9 years of warranty, you have a free water. So you pay for a cost of municipal water, whatever it is, but it's like a few thousand times less. So yes, we did install on some wealthy people have a pool inside the house. So we have cases a lot when we install our system for the pools and for the entire house. Entire house, like big house, is 1-inch pipe, and we have a device on our side. It's like a blue pipe, like fancy looking. It's for the whole house, for 3/4 inch or 1 inch. For pool, it's a custom installation. We look at the pressure, size of the pool, diameter of the pipe that supply water, and make a decision what to make, how many devices they need, and we usually put them on manifold, install them, and amazing feedback from people who have that stuff installed for the pool. They don't use a chlorine or anything else. Some people have a hard water and they use a natural material to filter it. It's like a rough filtering before because they have hard water and they want to be less hard, whatever hardness. So there's a natural volcanic material which is very good to use as a rough filtering. So we have an installation in 22-story building as well. Most of the company, they install on a water main. We think it's a waste of resources. We usually install the system on each floor. Why? Because the more you go, let's say the intake, the pipe is 4 inches, and each floor it goes like 1 inch pipe. So 1 inch pipe covers the entire floor in the building. So we rather set up devices for 1 inch pipe than for 4 inch because it's much more expensive. It's like a 4 inch pipe doesn't cost 4 times. It costs like 15 times more than for 1 inch pipe because of the amount of water that goes through the pipe. It's like a square, let's say 1 inch and 2 inch, it's 4 times. It's not 2 times. So yes, we do have installation on industrial and on a high-rise 22-story building as well. Most industrial have 1.5 inches, a maximum 2 inches. We install for 1.5 inches water intake for meat processing facility.
All right.
And actually, we don't advertise for. We sell our devices, market devices, since 2018, and never advertise. And we have every client that like the water, and we never had any reclamation. Everybody likes it. brings you 2-3 customer. And that's my idea to reduce the cost, don't spend money on advertisement. And that's how we work, because we don't want to become public. We had that offer. We don't want to be driven by profit, but rather by quality.
Luke, you have a twofold or threefold question here. Luke, do you want to pose it?
Yes, sure. Yes, so you mentioned the diameter, which plays a big part in the principle acting to filter or to transform the water. Is it possible to handle huge volumes? You just talked about 4 inches. Do you see any theoretical limits?
No, there's no limits. Everything is scalable. You can take 8 inches. There was a long time ago, I worked with some other guy. We didn't work formally, but we tried to get into water business together, but it never worked out. So I know that there was installation for the 8-inch, 8-inch water intake. So basically, there's no restriction. It's a matter of money. It's a matter of how much you're willing to pay. It's better to install the device close to endpoint whenever you use water, because the energy is the diminishing when it's travel. So there's a distance you can preserve the same, like everything in our life. There's a diminution of energy. That's why we suggest to install as close as possible to a point of use. When I talk about the apartment buildings, we install on each level, each floor, and then people inside install the small under sink unit, or people in apartment install on a 1.5 inch intake pipe. It's handled entire apartment. It's a matter of preference. I don't know. Some people want to get devices everywhere. I have one guy who bought a shower head. We have a shower head that removes chloride and revitalize water. We don't sell them yet in US, but for airports, he wants to have a shower heads everywhere. He wants to have a device under a washing machine to take odor off the washing machine and have a whatever. So it's a matter of preference. But the way we recommend it for the whole house, you have a big house, you install device, it will take care of everything. But we suggest to put one on the sink, because you drink that water, you cook with that water, and that water get born right upon your eyes. You just open a faucet and you get new water, like spring water. You drink it.
Cool. So that's what kind of insulation is needed?
It's everybody everybody is able to install it by screwing water hose to we have like a male NPT, I guess, thread adapter to the adapter from each side. It doesn't take any brain to do it. Like,
Did you have a follow-up, Luke, or was
Well,
that
yeah, I
good?
had written the other question.
if you want to have a copper pipe, I'm sorry. I suggest, and I do it for my house. I put instead of rubber hose, I use a copper tube. yes, it takes some work. You have to bend it, you have to position it. So you have to think about how to do it the best way for your kind of installation. But yes, if you use copper, is the best solution, of course.
So yeah, you might have mentioned it already in your presentation, but maybe I didn't really pick it up. How much time when you first had your idea to the first time you had a product that you tested?
10 years probably, even more. I had an idea I read a report that I mentioned, like 2004. It took me a year to read a lot of books. Most of them are written by Schauberger. And then I realized that there's at least approach we can take, we can try. And at that time, I still had my IT business, and I decided to put some profit, divert some profit into a new business, and then I take a year and a half break because we couldn't find a solution to make it portable and small one like we have now by 5. And then all of a sudden, a solution came to my mind, and so basically 10, 11 years, yes, from idea to commercially available product.
And how many times until we got the version that we like you have right now?
4 or 5. I made 4 or 5 changes and numerous tests, energy test, all kind of tests we could make, especially on agriculture testing. We can, if you have a farm in Canada, and we can take your statistics, crop statistics, and we can improve it by 20%.
20?
If you don't get 20%, you pay nothing.
That's pretty, yeah, it's quite the incentive. Do you have on your website these types of stats where you showed some small examples in today's presentation, but do you have other stats that are concrete that people could look at showcasing different areas where gardeners or farmers use this to generate bounty where those who use the regular systems failed?
It's a third version of the website. I put a translation and just I remove it because I understand for each language requires own explanation, and so translation doesn't work well. So I'm just in the process of a little bit changing the site, and that's why you see some stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, we're going to put. We have some. I thought that people find that propaganda-like stuff.
No, if it's hardcore data sets, it's good. It's fine.
May not believe. So the test we have, it's hardcore data, especially with the concrete. Look at the concrete.
Yeah,
You can
that's a good one.
Yeah, you can build a marine structure. I went to Association of Concrete Mix in Washington D.C. and there was a nice guy, PhD. He invited me to a testing facility. He looked at it. He said, "Look, that's the good business I have to tell you, but I cannot help you because by law we cannot promote your idea. What you have to do, you have to find somebody." And he told me how much I can make out of a cubic feet of a concrete mix. But he said, you have to find somebody from the industry and let them go from place to place and make the presentation and give them a good money. And because we put a lot of money and most of them own money into that business for 15 years, I funded myself. And we take no outside funds. We didn't have that money, just very simple. I didn't have resources to find a guy and traveling across America, make a presentation. And if he comes back empty-handed, that's not a business strategy.
Vic, would you like to pose your twofold question?
Sure, Matt. Hey, thanks. Excellent presentation. My first one is, my prejudice, and I'll be very short here, is that, the understanding and use of frequencies in pretty much everything has been, shunted to the side, with modern physics and medicine and stuff. But to be brief, then, what is the impact of the different frequencies of, the variety of EMF exposures we have on water's natural frequencies?
I did
Or-
mention probably. Thank you
Huh?
for your question. Very good. You remind me that I probably missed that point because the water that come out of our device is basically rebuilt and reassembled inside it. It's like a water molecule get assembled again. It's like, do you remember when you were a kid, like a kaleidoscope, like that stuff? It changed the pattern. It's a good just introduction what happened to the water. It's just 1 second, 1 nanosecond, and you have a different water. It's our technology is the only one. It's not the nature is the only technologist that block, effectively remove electromagnetic pollution from the water. So when water get reassembled, all these vibrations, all these frequencies is taken out of a cluster. So that's right. You can test it. You can do a test, a physical test. What do you call it? A spectrum analysis, water spectrum. And I'll tell you that water has to emit and absorb some spectrums to be useful for a human being, for any life system. And we have a report on that. Yes, I have to post it probably on the website. The picture, there's a special devices they call GDV camera. It's a gas dynamic visualization. So that's the way to take a picture of human aura from anything else that has a subtle energy in it. And we have that report. We have a lot of research on it. Yeah, we have to put it probably in.
Okay. My second question was, I was very interested in your discussion of vortexes. What was the Heisenberg quote when he meets God? He's got two questions: what's quantum mechanics and why turbidity? And he thinks God can answer one of those. But anyway, the vortex concept, I think, in the heart, and particularly, the ability to create flow just by easy zone separation without actually pumping, is important. Is the heart vortex concept at all related to your vortex concept of returning life to the water? If that's a simple way to put it.
Yes, of course. It's a Victor Schauber concept. It's not my concept. It's understanding of inside of the water by Victor Schauberger, and yes, he even mentioned how the water should, the direction of the water cycling. It should be, it should go like clockwise. It should go straight and clockwise, rotating inside. That's the natural way of water because he spent years and years observing nature. And we use his knowledge. We save like 10 years probably observing nature by reading Victor Schauberger carefully and maybe several times some books. I guess I lost the point. What did you ask me if...
The heart vortex versus your vortex.
It's not mine. It just...
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes. Understood.
It's not. There's nothing ours inside. It's like I cannot say that my intellect was put inside the water. No, I use my intellectual ability to study nature and read about the researchers who study nature and get contact with somebody, with those who are still here, do research. That's why a lot of scientists, knowingly or not, help us to perfect our idea, the concept, and actually devices.
I'm sorry if I was unclear. What I really meant is the vortex of your product, not the whole area of it.
Yeah, no, look, it's not my product. I guess the best what we did is to understand the natural flow of the water, the way it should be, and we mimic it inside the device. And if it's not exactly perfect, nature will make it perfect. It's just the importance of it to initiate self-restoration process.
Mhm.
And then Mother Nature takes care of it. So we have no control of what happened inside the device, but we know for sure every time water goes in any of our device, the same thing is happening, because the most precision pieces we made ourselves in-house.
Thank you very
So
much.
that control the quality of the output.
Thanks.
I was curious, as we begin to round out today's show, I'm sensing a certain openness to question certain mainstream or standard model formulas that have held us back from making proper discoveries in many fields, health science being one big one. And I know that with the new health paradigm, for all of its problems, and I have many critiques of Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s approach to the Maha thing, but at the very least, there's still, I'm noticing, a space for discussion of topics that have formerly been rather verboten. And I'm curious if you sense that within the entrepreneurial or even policymaking networks that you engage with within the United States, or let's say in other parts of the world, do you find that there's more receptivity to this approach to both the science as well as the applied aspects of it, both in receiving, let's say, funding or investment, or is there still the same intellectual blocks that there always were?
Yeah, let me tell you about investments. There was a company that put $800,000, and they wanted to market whole house devices for the whole house installation and make sure it's scalable, that it can go with apartment buildings. And so we had no control. Like they make the product and they sell it. I don't know where, but in 1890, it was like maybe 6-7 months only. I asked him to send 10 pieces to Russia Federation. I want to test them over there. And they said, no, we're not going to send to Russia. So I said, okay, so I will stop our work together. So, and we sent them back the $800,000, and they didn't like it. They wanted to keep that business, and they filed a lawsuit. It took me 2 years to lose, and we pay them $500,000 just for them to get out of our site. So that's the business. It's all about money, nothing else. That's why we never considered to go public, because we're not after money. We have a mission to make the good product and help people, and especially my grandson and my grandson when I get that. So it's. Do you need $1 billion? I don't know. I don't need $1 billion. Okay, what would I do with that? So I need to fulfill my life and make sure I did everything I could in my life to give what I'm able to give. All right. So yes, if you met, we'll be able to get to a Kennedy. I will send you some information and we can start working together. I'm trying to find that file. 2 weeks ago, there's a company in US, in California, no, not in California, in Massachusetts, I guess, I forgot the name. So they developed a drug for Alzheimer's disease, and they wanted to test it. Already tested, I don't know, in somewhere in it doesn't matter where. I don't remember where they're going to test. Probably in in Indian Pacific country somewhere. So I sent them a letter. We have we can improve. We checked their drug. We can improve its efficiency by at least 32%. By using our technology. I sent a letter to 4 people, the key person in the company, and I get no response. Nobody is interested in it. So it's if you try to go against the mainstream, you're not welcome. You understand that, right?
Sure.
That's exactly what happened.
Okay. Same creative blocks. I got you. All right. Monty's or actually Luke had one additional question. I'll throw it at you, Luke. We still have a little bit of time before the 2 o'clock mark hits, so you can take it.
Well, I was curious about the spiral. It seems like under the metal here, we're going to find a spiral. I may be wrong, but what kind of spiral, I guess, is the whole magic? Or the
You mean what? You mean
principle?
what is the nature of the spiral of water that will take form?
Well,
And is that what you're asking, or are you asking something else?
There's a lot of questions about the spiral, I guess. There's the product, but then also he kept repeating that this is not his invention, that this is nature's principle at work. So I'm trying to see if the fact that nature uses some kind of
I see what
spiraling.
you're asking. And Oleg, I'll just say one thing, Luke. There's some really good work by Victor Schauberger that you can even find some videos and things online that showcase the natural flow of the water molecules in
Yep.
rivers, that showcase that there's a natural organic spiral function when water
Yep.
moves
Yep.
in streams and what have you. But
Yep.
Oleg, maybe you want to add to that a bit more.
What I did, we just designed that spiral according to sacred geometry, based on the golden ratio, because the whole universe is built around the golden ratio. The golden ratio is everywhere inside us. Our body built accordingly, leaves. So we're talking about proper design of to make sure that water stream, is as close as possible to a double helix DNA and has all the golden ratio proportion in it. So we have basically 2 streams of water interwoven, and then they make 1 stream. So it's like effort of 2 people equal 3. It's something like that. So we have a synergy when 2 streams get in one. There's a synergetic effect of it. So I can tell you that I did that spiral insert inside the pipe 3 or 4 times, and I tried different way of doing that, and we test energy of water, and we did comprehensive test of the water that come out, and what I thought is right is appeared to be right by everything. I don't know what to say, but the spiral is the only precise piece that our device has. Yeah, there's something else I don't want to talk about. It's just basically a know-how that we have in our device. Yes, there is something that help to establish a quantum resonance and keep it. That's why water will remain fresh for, I don't know, for maybe for 10 years. I put water in my garage for 3.5 years and drink it like I just got from my faucet. The same taste, no sign of anything. Great taste, and it's just the same water as drink every day. So to answer your question, sometimes when you get into something and accumulate kind of critical amount of knowledge, your subconscious gives you some hint, you get inspiration. You get something that makes you do what you did. It's a normal way of it's for scientists. It's an absolute normal way. If you don't have inspirations, you won't be able to do something, because we eventually, at the end, we copy Mother Nature. Whatever we develop, discover, found, it's already exists, right? It's not like we make it happen. It's already exists, and it become part of our knowledge. So we try to better understand the nature. So if we decided to that we understand something we didn't understand before, and everything is wrong that we did before, I don't think it may happen. But yeah, I will publicly say that. But so far, we go into a different direction and use what we did with the water as a base to be pioneer in vibrational medicine. And we have a big progress for the last 2 years.
All right, I'm going to give the last question here to Richard. And by the way, Monty, yeah, I just saw your message. Monty says, please include me in correspondence. I'm retired, living in Mexico and dealing with contaminated well water. So yeah, I'm going to send your email to Oleg to communicate. Richard, you can have the very last question for today's show.
Okay, I just wanted to mention that an electric current going through plasma also follows a spiral, and it also tends to be two strands working together.
Of course.
So there must be some connection between these two things.
Yep, it is. The way what happened to the water, it's basically you can say it's like a cold fusion. It's a cold plasma. It's something we don't understand yet, or maybe we cannot find a right terms to describe it, because water is still quite enigmatic. It still puzzled people for many years. It will puzzle us for years to come. If we understand the magical water, we will resolve all the issue of the planet. We don't have anger. We don't have hatreds. People will never fight for resources, because it will be plenty of resources to everybody. When you look at the ancient world, like ancient Greece, they don't have a machine. They use slaves, but they have a plenty of food for everybody. And the cost of food was like a penny or whatever compared to today's. Because the fertility of topsoil was different. The more we use fertilizers, the more we damage the soil. So when you use our technology, you will forget about fertilizers and make an eco-friendly crop in 1 year. So it's proven. We have a lot of statistics on agriculture.
All right. Thank you, Oleg, and thank you, everybody, for joining us in this very stimulating conversation today. And all of the links to your website and broader work, I'm going to make available in the description box in this video when it goes up onto YouTube. And be sure to like and share. Yep.
I'll send you some keynotes about my presentation, like points for the future reference if you need it. And I will contact you, and maybe we'll find a way to reach out at decision makers and try a technology. What we're going to do, we wanted to set a water dispenser to the schools. It's like a humanitarian project, and give every kid a personal a bottle, like like stainless steel, for free. That every schoolboy and girl, they should have it. Don't use a bottle anymore. Just put on your backpack. In a school, you have a free water. You don't buy soda. You'll have a biological valuable water for free, because kids need it more than anybody else.
Mm.
So
Yeah, it's good.
I will-
Maybe a little declaration of the universal rights of living water would be a nice little. Okay.
I will send you some info later. Okay.
All right, sounds good. All right, thank you, Oleg. Thank you, everybody. Take care until next week.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you
Thanks for
very much,
having me.
Oleg.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.